Hey team, it's Jay, you're the team leader here at Keller Williams Realty, all of San Luis Obispo County, here and talking to Ashlea Boyer. Ashlea, welcome. Thank you for taking time out of your day to be with us today. Right on. And now, Ashlea and I have worked together for a number of years. In fact, we worked together in 2000 when you had when did you get into real estate?
About 2002.
2002, okay. I was working for a title company back then, so it was a very, very different relationship where I would pop in and I was more of like I would love to be here for you.
It was fun.
Yeah.
That was the days of parties and gifts.
Yes, before we realized that real estate is a business, right? Exactly. We were transactional people going from one deal to the next.
Yeah.
And that's been a huge mind shift for a lot of real estate professionals, going from being a transactional agent to one that realizes that you're really owning your own business. And you've taken that ownership to like a whole new level where you've got a perpetual brand. It's not Ashlea Boyer anymore. You're the CEO of your own company, Pismo Homes Team.
Yeah.
Right?
Pismo Beach Homes Team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that transition. How did that happen for you? When did it happen? What inspired it?
Right. So originally, I basically came to work in the family business. That's how we described it. And my mom got her license in '87. I was just about to enter high school, junior high school. And she had business partners along the way. She had 2 of them.
Okay.
So before teams were a thing, she partnered with another agent, and they would have the benefit of watching each other's business. They both brought clients and deals to the table, and they were equal partners and shared in each other's wealth and success, which expanded their reach and their joint success exponentially, because 2 can definitely do more business than 1.
Sure.
And you think that you're going to actually lose money, but you actually have more bandwidth to do more with your time. And it also allows you to take a vacation without losing a transaction, because in the industry, you know that if you take a 2-week vacation, you just come to grips with the fact in the beginning you're gonna lose at least 1 escrow. Not ones that are open, because you can usually salvage those, but you're gonna have a buyer that comes into town that wants to see something, that goes and takes their business to another agency or another agent. So anyway, she had figured that out kind of organically. And so then when I stepped in and joined the business, it happened to be when she was just at the conclusion of one of those business partnerships.
Okay.
And so we joined up, and we basically did the same thing. And the benefit of that cannot be explained more fully, that she let me into a business that was already working and running, and taught me how to do it along with my first broker, and shared with me all of this insight that I now feel an obligation, now that it's 18 years later, that I share my insights with agents that are stepping into the business, because if they are going to approach it from the right sensibility, that it isn't a hobby, and that
Sure.
and they want to have a similar business and a similar customer service angle, then how can I not help them with the things that I've learned? And trust me, these things aren't secrets. So keeping them to yourself isn't going to keep the people from learning them. They're going to find it another way. So all boats float on a rising tide. And so that's a philosophy of ours, and we're go-givers from the Go-Giver book. So that's kind of how that
Great
whole
book,
thing
by
started.
The way,
Yeah.
The Go-Giver.
Yeah. So anyway, that's how it started. My mom and I first, and then when we joined Keller Williams 3 years into the relationship, so we've been with Keller Williams 15 years now.
Wow.
And the models, the Y2Ts, 4Cs, that I always get that wrong. Y4Ts, 2Ts. Yes, I always want to do the dyslexic thing. But we came from the Buffini Coaching, and Buffini Coaching and Keller Williams had developed some of their best practices together. And so they just were a natural fit. So we were plugging along, just the 2 of us, and then we had an agent approach us that wanted to work with us, and so we added that person and found a right role for them, and they were kind of a hybrid learning how to be an agent, but also doing some administrative work for us. Sure. And then we had a power player come want to join our team, and I actually tried to talk her out of it 3 times and told her she could be on her own and do just fine, and she didn't want any of that. So Shannon Bowdy joined our team, and she's been with us for 5 years now, I think.
And you guys have had a really dynamic relationship, and the energy that's created.
Yeah.
It's almost, my office is at the other end of the building, and I can feel the vibration when they have their team meetings coming from the other side of the
all
building.
Those ideas.
Yeah, it travels through the wall.
Yeah. So, and we all bring a different piece to the team, and now we've got 2 more agents, and we're adding another one that you don't know about because she's getting her license. So, and we have our great admin assistant, Melissa, and all of us, and Tiffany Gray, our TC, we all seem to be just our pieces of the puzzle fit together so nicely, and we help each other. It's a help situation, not we're always looking for the next piece of business. It's that too. That's of course going to keep us moving forward, but it's more about if we help each other, we're all going to be successful.
Yeah, so, the definition of team, right? Together, everyone achieves more.
Right.
For those of you that are thinking about building a team, it's important to hear this. And I don't mean to put you on the spot, but did this team happen overnight, or did it take time to build? And did you go through some relationships that weren't
the right fit?
The right fit.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. See, so it's a process. So
it's a process, and also if Jay's going to help you build that team, listening to the nuggets that are the building blocks before you just jump into a relationship are super important. Yeah. We've got great tools at our disposal that the office pays for, the DISC and the KPA.
Yeah, KPA is by far one of the best tools I've seen to help.
You can walk through the KPA, and about 2/3 in with a certain individual, hands down whether or not that person is going to be a right fit, and it doesn't allow you to do something like a instinctual move or a gut move.
I got a great feeling about this, right?
Or maybe you just have a really good cocktail with them, and then you think that you can be business partners. Yeah. So no, we definitely. I take it upon myself a little bit more than I probably should, but at the end of the day, I'm kind of making the decisions of what ingredients to put in the soup, right?
Sure.
So. Yes, I've listened to others. Probably that's one of the things that you have to get over when someone says, this person would be great for you. You kind of have to, and you take that reference and go, okay, and then back to the building blocks and doing the due diligence. And so, yes, it's been a process, and it didn't happen overnight, and we've lost a couple of good people to great things that they went on to work for the office and stuff like that those relationships still exist. Yes.
Thank you for that, by the way. Yeah, at one point in time, she was training the staff. It was beautiful.
Exactly.
But it's come full circle. There's plenty of people that we've trained that are now on your team.
Exactly. So,
and for those that don't know, there's a lot of acronyms at Keller Williams. KPA stands for Keller Personality Assessment. And I think one of the biggest gifts during that process that the report gives you is it helps you build and understand the true core values of the person that you're working with.
Right.
And then that's where the alignment comes in. So it's not a tell-all. And to be honest with you, it's only about 20% of the decision-making process.
Correct.
But once you're halfway into it, you'll know whether this is going to be a good fit or not.
Right. And it just helps you to understand that, especially when you're going to be dealing with some pretty high dollar situations.
Yeah.
And the dollars get bigger, the stress gets bigger. And how that person operates in certain situations is going to be pivotal to how you're going to move forward. And so, and right now we just have a really solid group. I mean, I can't be happier with how we all contribute to one another's success and how we all bring something to the table. I mean, Shannon has started our social media on an exponential rise, and then we've started adding some new components to it, and pivoted in COVID to allow for some additional things similar to this interview situation. We do weekly episodes interviewing movers and shakers in our community. Karen Ray, Roy Grande Mayer, Brian Collins of Ember, Noreen Martin of Martin Resorts. There's been 8 episodes, and we are looking forward to keeping that going even when we are all able to go back to whatever it is that's going to be normal. So, because I think it's important. People never get to, I mean, I would say the great majority of our community knows who Martin Resorts are and have stayed on their properties, but they don't get a chance to talk to Noreen face to face. Oh, sure.
And she's a peach.
Oh, yeah.
She really is.
She's awesome. So or talking to Brian. I mean, you see Brian Collins at Ember in the kitchen, but you don't get to sit down and ask him questions about how did he get here and working with Alice Waters. So those have been fun, and it's been something that we've pivoted and added to give us some dimension as humans that goes beyond real estate and allow that platform for the public. So
and I think during this this time in our lives where we've got this, where are we supposed to be sheltering, right? At home. And I think I predict that this is going to be one of the biggest real estate years we've ever seen, because people are realizing the homes that they're in are either too small, too big, they need something, they don't need other things, and they're going to be making changes.
Well, your home now has to have your gym and your office inside it. And then also has to have some sort of retreat aspect, because you can't leave and go on vacation the way we lost 2 vacations in COVID as well, with airline tickets booked and everything.
Oh, wow.
So you're home, then you look in your backyard and go, well, what can I do with this?
Will a pool fit in this backyard? Can I get palm trees, and can I import some sand from Cabo? Right?
Exactly, yeah, so...
Well, I want to tell the people that are viewing that one of the reasons that we're sitting down today for a couple of reasons. One, you've done incredible things with your business over the last 18 years. You are and have been one of the most solid and top producing agents in the South County area for a majority of that time. You've built this incredible business. It's earned you the right to be invited to be on our ALC, our Associate Leadership Council. You have to be within the company's top 20% in production to be invited, and a good cultural fit.
Right.
You're basically operating as, it's a board of directors, if you will, a limited democracy, which was, I think, one of the great things about Keller Williams is we take the agents, because as the team leader, I don't sell real estate. I think it's a direct conflict of interest. Trying to help you win, why would I be taking deals myself?
Right.
And because of that, there creates a little bit of a disparity. Like, I'm literally not in the streets. I can't adjust the market center's activities, actions. I can't pivot quickly because I'm not on the ground. So how do we get around that? We have 8 to 12 agents that are in that top level production in the office, meeting once a month. We go over the financials. We go over, we've got committees on culture, which you chair, profitability, education, profit share, growth, all that give feedback to the entire team, because we operate as a team in some degree, so that we can make decisions that are on a dime. I mean, just make a move when we have to. And I think this is a great example. We look at the market share that the office had before COVID and after, and we gained another 8% because you guys, the people in the trenches, were absolutely on point, doing what needed to be done,
and sharing it with others.
Yes, like you said, it's not a secret, and we all have a different sphere of influence.
Right.
The crossover is very, very small.
Right.
And we're a sharing company. We really are. I think that's what's one of the great things.
Education based. What was the joke that we used to say, that we were a training company that sells real estate? Now we're a tech company that sells real estate.
Exactly.
So I think we're both still, because we have amazing training, and that's the education component. And I think that top 20% that's on the ALC are constantly taking classes. We don't think that we know it all. We are ready
especially
to
when it's changing every single month.
Exactly.
Like, it changes, like the technology, social media, everything.
Staying on top of everything.
What would you attribute your highest level of? I mean, you like I said, you've been successful, very successful, year over year over year. What would you attribute a big component of that to?
Well, we rely. 80% of our business is repeat and referral business, and that can only be achieved when you treat your customers at a very high level of customer service. We don't just focus on the sale. It's a long range relationship that we expect that we will be serving as your real estate advisor for a lifetime. So whenever we step into that relationship with you, be it your first home or you're selling your 10th home and you're downsizing for retirement, wherever we start that relationship, we fully expect that we will be continuing that relationship forever, like until we aren't in real estate anymore, or whatever that, however that ends. So, and so to do that, you've got to show a high level of integrity, transparency, communication, things that I have to admit, in our industry, sometimes are not always the case, and we get some, negative reviews about that as a real estate industry. Yeah. So we have to make sure that we don't ever falter in that regard. We pick up our phone. We have a main phone line for the team that it rings to everyone. So if 5 people can't pick up a phone, it's that doesn't happen. So
sure. Something's happened globally.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So we try to check all those boxes. We keep in communication with our clients even when there are hard conversations. After the sale, it doesn't stop there. You need anything real estate related, we're here for you. And that customer service is probably, I won't say probably, is the reason why we've been able to weather some, dips in the market.
Sure. And there have been a few since you've been in the business.
Oh, yeah. And that keep us on the top of mind for our clients. They don't think of, if we've done our job right, they don't think of anyone else when someone thinks of real estate. So I don't worry about my clients going to open houses without me or something like that, because it's just not that they've established their relationship. So,
sure.
And that's what we're trying to pass along to newer agents on our team, how important that is. It's not just the, splashy social media advertising to get that new lead that you've never met before, but it's also nurturing and maintaining those relationships in your sphere that maybe even haven't done business with you, but making sure they know who you are and what you do and have the integrity which you do it, so that they are always thinking of you.
There's a phrase I use regularly, and that is that if you got in this business for the paychecks and that's what you're chasing, you're going to be chasing money your entire life. If you get into real estate to provide the highest level of service that you can for the people that you know and care about, the money is going to chase you down, and you won't be chasing it at all.
Right.
And so you really exemplify that.
Right.
It's all about customer service. The money is a beautiful byproduct.
Yeah.
But that's not the reason.
No.
The reason is to be that quality care specialist for your consumers.
Right. Yeah. And it isn't hard if that's the way you approach it. It comes naturally.
Sure.
So that's just how we operate as a team, and it's what keeps us going and keeps us getting up and greeting the day for our clients. So,
I know. Well, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to share with us. I do want to ask you about one more thing before we break, and that is, you do a number of escrows every year. You've got an escrow right now with Beverly Stickler over at Central Coast Escrow. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, it's great. We had a difficult property, not the property, but there's a situation attached to this property where they didn't have a good experience with a situation that happened with their past escrow company. And to be honest with you, it really wasn't that escrow company's fault. It was just an honest mistake. But when somebody gets that negativity in their head, sometimes you really can't talk them out of it. So we thought the best thing to do would be to put them with someone that we knew would be nurturing and attentive to detail, and change that mindset about escrow in general. And so we couldn't think of a better person to put them to than Beverly, because I've known Beverly since kindergarten. So we know each other pretty well, and we were transparent with the situation that this client had a negative connotation coming into the situation, and it's a high-end property. So maybe rightly so that they should have a protective approach to their property. But Beverly's been doing awesome. She's she hit the ground running, and she's been communicative and open with the client and modeling what we do as a team. So, and that's all we can really hope for, is that when we bring in a referral partner, be it a lender or escrow, that they act as an extension of us, because really the client doesn't know where our job stops and their job starts. They think we're all in this together.
Part of the same activity.
So if one of us isn't acting completely right, then that doesn't reflect what. So.
Right on. Well, I know you're also the first escrow that's going through Qualia, the new operating software.
Right. Yeah.
So we're probably going to circle back at the close of escrow to see how that went. Qualia is probably the most communicative escrow platform on the planet.
Regular updates and
have you ever ordered anything through Amazon and seen like here's your bubble in the line and the next bubble in the line? Imagine that with escrow, and you can have real time updates on the client portal, the agent portal. It's nothing that the agent has to plug into or the consumer has to, but it's nice to know that it's there and available.
Right.
So we're really excited about making that.
It really works for those, was it C's that like the...
all the details.
All the details and all the background.
So here's what it does. Rather than that C client, C the person that is compliant and likes to check all the check all the
systems
T's
and all that stuff.
The agent, you're not going to have to reach out to them as frequently because escrow is doing it for you.
Right.
On every activity. So that's going to be super cool.
Yeah, those clients that we have that are like that, and we want to cater to all of the personalities.
Sure.
They just like to know, they don't like the quiet time between. And we have a lot of quiet time between. It's not that nothing's happening, it's just that there's some waiting that has to happen. But this is kind of nice because we're communicating, and then this might feather in another Lego in the brick, wall, so that they get a little bit more information than they would have normally. So it'll be interesting to see how it rolls out. So.
Yeah. So we'll circle back when we have our closing there. So in conclusion, Ashley, I just want to say thank you for all your time. I know this is we're doing this Saturday morning, and I know you've got open houses, and you're coming from one and going to another, and or not open houses, excuse me, but
COVID,
showings,
unfortunately. But yes, showings we're doing everything the way that we're supposed to do it. So we just left a property to hang all of the COVID warning signage and hide the lockbox because unfortunately we can't just have it be accessible. We need to go through some steps. But I have not had any trouble with clients on the buy side or the sell side as when we explain how much we're putting into the art of keeping them healthy and safe. So we've been very successful with that. So. Awesome. So but we do. It takes more work. It takes extra steps. So yes.
Well, it's been an honor and privilege working with you for the past 5 years. I've been here with Keller Williams.
Yeah.
And I look forward to a long and healthy relationship going forward. Thank you for your time today.
Yeah, no problem. All right.
Cheers to you out there.
Yeah,
Stay tuned, and we'll see you next week.